What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode number 5, I think it is, for the Spanish Grand Prix. Check out the last episode if you haven't already for Baku. Well, that kind of... I'm gonna have to blur that out in editing. But anyway, here we are for the 5th round of the championship. In terms of upgrades, things are pretty stagnant at the moment. We are currently waiting on an ultimate weight reduction upgrade. Cost me like 1400 resource points, so I've divided all my points up into that, so that's taking up a lot of my development at the moment. I had a tire wear upgrade fail, I had a rear downforce upgrade fail at the start of last episode. I could have fixed those and had those on the car ready for the start of this race, but I wanted to prioritize that weight reduction upgrade. That's going to be so massive in the context of our season. It'll really propel us back towards, or maybe even get us ahead of some of the front-running teams in this field. But we're just going to have to bide our time for now. We've got some really good rounds coming up. I feel like this one is going to be one of those, and so too with Monaco. So I don't mind taking a little bit of a performance hit over the next couple of rounds. I think we're going to be pretty successful anyway. But this is qualifying 2. You can see our banker time puts us in P6. We used a older set of super soft tires for this run. And for the dying laps, or the dying minutes of this session, we're going to go on to soft compound tyres. We're going to try this for the first time this season, I believe. I feel like we finally kind of have the confidence to get through to qualifying 3 on a harder compound tyre. I didn't go all guns blazing, I don't think, in the start of this session. It was, you know, like I said, an older set, and I think I might have held back a little bit with the RS deployment. So we'll have to wait and see how we go. This tyre is set to be about a second a lap slower, but as we cross the line, the lap itself was still not good enough to beat the original time on the super soft tyres. So we make it through to qualifying 3, but the bad thing is we're going to be starting the race on a set of tyres that have done like 3 or 4 laps. So that's not going to be ideal. We might be a little bit off the pace at the start of the race, and also we may have to do an extra stop, or we may have to use a harder compound versus some of the others. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully it won't cost us all too much. Spain is a pretty high tyre wear circuit. There's a lot of prolonged high-speed corners that really punish the front left tyre, so hopefully we'll be okay. But as we head into Q3, it's business as usual. We went straight to the top there on a 1 minute 16.5, only just clear of Daniel Ricciardo, to be fair, so we can't relax too much. We still have a lot of work to do to maintain this position that we're in at the moment, but with 3 minutes to go, didn't really have anything to do. I was just, you know, waiting around for the track to get a little bit faster. Decided to watch Vettel on his hot lap. He's currently sitting in P10, so he hasn't really set a time. He goes and sets a 21.2 to the first sector, which I believe is pretty solid. Coming up to the middle sector now, we're about to head out on track, so I won't be able to see the entirety of this lap. It does a 28.8 in the middle. We compare that to our times, and he's actually up on our time by 1/10. So he matched us in the middle, was a 10th faster in the first, and in the third sector, he went even faster and got pole position with only 10 seconds left to go in the session. So it's time for us to try and topple Sebastian Vettel to see if we can get a second pole position in this Season 2 of Career Mode. We had a little bit of a swapper there between 2 and 3, but otherwise it didn't cost us too much time. We're up by half a tenth as we go through the first sector split. We're a tenth down on Vettel's time still, but I feel like we're really good through the middle sector. Aero really comes into it, especially this next left-right kind of chicane, and then this really high-speed blind approach right-hander of turn 9, I think it is. I love this corner. This is one of my favorite corners in the entirety of the F1 calendar. Just chuck the car in 6th gear, a very light lift, and the car feels so much better than what it did this time last season. It's amazing. 2/10 purple to the middle sector split. We're a 10.5 up on Vettel's time, and we're going to have to really push it in this third sector. This is where I've been losing a little bit of time versus the AI, but hopefully we can make up even more time. We're up by 5/10 just about as we go through the middle sector, the final sector chicane. There's a screen freeze, completely screwed up my run through there, and the time just goes all the way out the window, and that is a very marginal improvement on the time. So that is third place for the Barcelona Spanish Grand Prix, whatever you want to call it. And that screen freeze really did cost us there. We were up by near enough to 5/10. I don't know if we would have got pole anyway, but we would have got really close, and surely that would have put us on the second row of the grid for the race, but it just wasn't to be. I mean, for the most part, I don't really get screen freezes all too much these days. I was suffering a little bit in that qualifying session, so after that was done, I restarted my PC. For the race, it was fine. To get rid of the screen freezes, like I said, yeah, I don't go on any other programs before I jump on the game. That seems to work. And, yeah, restarting the PC. But, yeah, just frustrating when it comes up like that at such a crucial time. Like, it could have happened on any of the straights, but no, I decided to do it at one of the most crucial parts of the circuit, which is unfortunate. But it's time for the Grand Prix now. Like I said, the pace is really good. We're up there to challenge with Vettel. We'll suffer a little bit in the first stint, but hopefully the race pace will be good enough to carry us to the podium.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult.
Well, we're about to try and disprove that theory if we can. Welcome, guys, to the Spanish Grand Prix. Almost forgot the name again. I don't know what it is with me today and commentary. But, yeah, we're going to see if we can make this circuit a overtaking circuit if we can. We've got two Ferraris to get past. They're going to be a bit of a blockade in this Grand Prix. Perhaps Raikkonen being the sacrificial lamb, trying to better Vettel's day and maximize his position in the championship. We'll have to wait and see. But we're getting ready for the start of this race now. 5 red lights and away we go for the 5th race of the 2018 Formula 1 season. Technically 2019 and the first European round of the season. Not a great start, though, to be honest. Ricciardo got us off the line there. Just a bit of wheel spin, and that was pretty much it, really. He moves into second place as he gets around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen. And now he's going to try and put the pressure on Sebastian Vettel. It's a bit odd to see that the Red Bulls were no threat to pole position yesterday. The car is obviously the best in terms of aerodynamic efficiency. Wow, that's another position loss. That's Bottas going out the inside there in a turn 4, I think it was. And now we're squabbling away for P5, and the leaders are getting away a little bit. So it looks like already the tyres are starting to suffer, just due to the extra running they had to do at the start of qualifying. But that's contact with Bottas. He brake checks is going through turn 9. And this has been a messy start to the Grand Prix. Not the start that I would have wanted. It looks like we're actually going backwards now. Bottas has gapped us by about a second there after the opening lap. Going purple to the first sector split. That means nothing on the first lap. But anyway, another bad run through turn 4. And now Verstappen is doing the exact same thing to us to what we did to Bottas. And now, yeah, we just about hold on to P5. But yeah, we're just going backwards. The grip just does not seem to be there. To be fair, though, I have gone in a little bit too deep into turn 4 the last few times. Do we get it right this time? We brake a little bit earlier, but still the grip is not quite there. The car is just sliding off the circuit. So we're going to have to make a few changes here. I think what I was struggling with there was just too much rear brake bias. The rear end was sliding out a little bit too much, throwing me offline. And then once you get past that ideal racing line, that's when the grip really starts to diminish. So I think after a couple of laps, we moved the brake bias further towards the front, and it just looked after the tyres a little bit better. You can see they're already at 60% on the left rear, so that's not great. And we've got to stretch these tyres another couple of laps. I think lap 7, lap 8 will be our pit window. And like I said, we'll be going onto the soft compound tyres twice to run to the end of the race. That's Lewis Hamilton, who's already made a stop, I think. Or he started on... No, he hasn't made a stop. He's just started on harder compounds. Lewis likes doing that. Sergio Perez is out of the Grand Prix. But again, just can't seem to get it right through that corner. I hope now I change the brake bias. No, I don't. I think I did that in the second stint. But anyway, it's time for a pit stop now. We're going onto the soft compound tyres. And hopefully that can be the last of our woes. Like in one lap pace, in qualifying trim, we were up there as the fastest car, but in the race, we just going backwards. But I don't know. Hopefully that's not an issue now. This is our teammate rejoining on the circuit. He made a very early pit stop in this race. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he stopped on like lap 3 or 4. Very, very early stop. And he might be suffering a little bit later on for tyre wear. Safety car has been deployed for some reason. I think that's a very late reaction to the Sergio Perez retirement. So I will certainly take that. It brings me back into the game. It brings those people who just made their stops right now into the game, including Carlos Sainz, who nearly jumps us. So So that was a very close call. It's P12 for us, but a lot of people still need to make their first stop. So I'm not worried too much. We've got Verstappen right in front of us, Leclerc. Like I said, he's got much older tyres than us. I say older, but they're only about 2 or 3 laps. But that will make a difference as this race unfolds over the next 10 laps or so. But yeah, you can see Alonso. No, that's Van Dorn leading the way. Esteban Ocon in P2. There's a Williams up there as well. I can't wait to get held up by that Williams. That's going to be fantastic. But yeah, it's going to be crucial to get through this traffic. Hopefully get closer to the likes of the Ferraris. That's obviously the aim. If I can beat Hamilton today, that'll be a really good effort. He seems to be an early contender for the title. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Restart time for the Spanish Grand Prix. The tyre attempts were absolutely nowhere off the restart there. I think the problem is that AI just drive really, really slowly on the build-up to green flag running again. So much so to the point that my tyres are just like stone cold, like 80 degrees, and I can't do anything with that. I just completely slide off the circuit. And it takes me like a good lap or two to really get back into the swing of things. So, yeah, you know, sometimes you'd think a safety car would benefit you or give you a chance to attack, but you know, lately I'm starting to think like it's kind of a disadvantage having the safety car because we just become so vulnerable on the cold tyres, but the AI just don't really suffer from that. But lap 10, one of the Williams makes their stops. I think that was Sirotkin, no, it was Stroll actually. Held up this massive group of cars here and allows us to fight with these guys. Leclerc makes a couple of positions stick for him, and someone was spun off on the inside there. That's one of the Ferraris. Kimi Räikkönen, I believe. Don't know what he was doing there. We'll have to get a replay from Esteban Ocon's point of view. Rejoins on the racing line, and Ocon doesn't really slow down that much for him, and kind of runs into the back of him there. So pretty unfortunate. He loses his front wing. Raikkonen's chances of winning this Grand Prix out the window now, and yeah, our chances of potentially getting back on the podium have just increased. Up the inside of Alonso there, I think it is. Job done. Thank you very much. He is very, very slow on those older tyres. But, yeah, again, caught up behind cars who haven't stopped yet, including Ocon. He's got his front wing damage. We saw what happened to him at the start of this lap, and he's holding up these guys so much. Can we get our teammate as well around the outside, heading into turn 10? No, not quite. Ocon locks up massively. Doesn't have the front downforce to help those brakes stop efficiently, and he almost ran into the side of us there as we bring up the replay. So trying to follow our teammate around the outside here. Ocon locks up, comes into our line as well, no less, moving out of the braking zone. So that's a bit of a no-no. And we get the position safely, thankfully, without any damage. But yeah, 12 laps into this Grand Prix, it's been pretty hectic. There's been a lot of traffic to negotiate. I think we've seen the last of that now, and we can pretty much get on with our race. And now it'll be a true reflection of what the pace is like versus our teammate. Like I said, Charles came in 2 or 3 laps earlier than what I did. His pace is going to be suffering a little bit because of that. He goes defensive into turn 1. I wasn't going to go for the move anyway, but it's compromised his run through turn 1, do the under and over, and that's us into the top 5. He just made that so easy for us when he really didn't need to. And he pits, I think. No, he stays out. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we're closing in on Bottas now. This is the first lap we've had on a decent set of tyres in clear air. And across the line, we go fastest with a 1 minute 20.2. So that just further confirms the pace that we had today. It's a shame that we got so caught up in the strategic blunder of starting on an older set of super soft tyres. If only we started the race on softs. Could you imagine the kind of commanding track position we'd have at the moment? But Vettel makes his final stop of the day. He's gone onto the mediums. A lot of the AI cars are going to be going onto mediums, whereas we're going to stretch it a little bit longer and we're going to go onto softs. It's going to be, on the race strategy, it said like 5/10 faster. We're going to suffer a little bit right now, just trying to make these tyres last until we can get the next set of softs on. But after we get that set of softs on, we're going to be absolutely flying in this Grand Prix, and we're already flying now. That was a surprise fastest lap there from me. Wasn't expecting it, and when I crossed the line, I was like, oh, yippee. Look at that, at the end of the stint. I didn't think the pace was in the car at this point in the race. But anyway, into the pits on the very next lap. The pace was very, very good. I seem to like the soft compound tyres. Don't know why. Just whenever we put them on. Like in Baku for the last race, we stretched those out to a really good result in Baku. In China, we were hunting down Lewis Hamilton on this set of tyres as well. Looking mega, mega fast. So I say bring the softs to every single round of the championship. Why not? But as we rejoin on the circuit, we've overcut our teammate, which is awesome. And now the only people in front of us are Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, or someone else, maybe Verstappen. But anyway, getting on with our race now. This is the final stint of the Grand Prix. This is where we can really unleash versus some of the slower AI cars in front of us. Ricciardo has a problem, I believe. He's been going fairly slowly over the last 3 or 4 laps. He was like 5 seconds in front of us after we just rejoined out of the pit lane, and we caught him massively. I don't know if he's got front wing damage or not. I'll try and have a look on his car. It looks fine from what I could see. We go around the outside into turn 10, and that is job done. Next up is Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. We're going to push like absolute mad now to try and catch him if we can. The gap was 4 seconds. It's now down to 3.8 as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1 minute 19.0. I don't know what that compares to last game, but that is multiple seconds a lap faster than F1 2017 and even F1 2018 Season 1. It's amazing like how fast these cars are in general on this game, let alone when you apply the upgrades after a season or two. It's absolutely crazy, but we're cutting down the gap like mad now. Bottas has got no pace on those mediums. Same too with Vettel, with Hamilton. We're catching him massively. It's just that they have so much track position, and we lost so much time at the start of the Grand Prix. We're really starting to see that lost potential in a way. 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go, sorry. Round the outside of Bottas. We're on the podium now, and Hamilton is only a good few seconds up the road. We could still get P2 in this race, but it's just down to whether we have the life in the tyres to do so. Again, purple 2, the first sector split. We just had the DRS off of Bottas. We didn't really get held up by him either, by the way, so this will be a really good chance for us to push and get the fastest lap. So I'll see if I can stay on board for the rest of this lap. Walk you guys through it, going through this left-right chicane. This is a really nice flowing corner. Have a nice late apex. Carlos Sainz out of the Grand Prix. Again, turn 9, you know my feelings about this corner. Again, only a very slight lift, even in race trim, which is impressive. The car feels amazing. Like the front and rear major downforce that we got, you know, makes a world of difference. I think we got another minor front downforce upgrade an episode or 2 ago. So that's making a huge difference at a track like this. Third sector now. The final sector chicane. I feel like we could be a little bit better. I could attack the curbs a little bit more. I struggle for traction out of that corner a little bit. But when I do get it right, it often feels very, very satisfying. Across the line, 18.8. 18.8. What a flying lap to bang in at the end of this Grand Prix. For the remaining laps, just like in China, it just got increasingly difficult to close in the gap to Hamilton, and I didn't even get within a second of him to really attack. And here we are on the last lap. My tyres are now, you know, seen the best of their life. Hamilton is punching in really good laps, as he always does at the back end of the race, just completely using up his battery. I'm using up mine. It's all a high-speed game of chess, and on this occasion, Hamilton is just going to get away. So it's going to be 3rd place, which, you know, if you would have told me that, you know, after the end of the first stint, we dropped to P5, P6, the pace was nowhere. If you would have said I'd go on to finish on the podium again, I would absolutely take that. So, damage limitation in a way. We only lose a few points to Hamilton, but again, it's another really solid podium.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
GG's to Vettel. He finally gets some luck. I think that might be his first victory of the season. If you remember what happened in Australia the first round, he was leading the race, he just set the fastest lap, and then he retired straight away. His championship took a massive blow, and his form since then hasn't been so great, but now he gets to fight back in this championship. So he gets the victory. Almost 5 seconds was the difference to Hamilton, so fairly sizable lead there. We were only 6.2 seconds away. Even, you know, not too bad. Well, safety car definitely helped us out, but it probably helped Vettel out as well. He had a very clear run after the safety car, whereas a lot of other people had to deal with quite a bit of traffic. We're 2nd place in the standings, 18 points behind Hamilton. Really good position in the championship right now. The car is only going to get better. We're only going to get stronger. My teammate is only going to get stronger as well. Where did he finish? I think he finished like P7 or something. So not the greatest day in the world for Charles. Oh, P5. No, better than I thought. But he did a 19.6, which was a lot slower than what I managed in the race. So wonder whether he was caught up in traffic or not. But yeah, Charles, as of late, his pace hasn't been too great. He was fast in Baku, but apart from that, he hasn't really matched us at some other circuits like China and here in particular. But, you know, knowing him, he's going to bounce back really, really strong in the episodes to come. Maybe not Monaco, but after that, I feel like he'll be very, very threatening. 1,500 resource points. What are we going to spend it on? What are we going to spend it on? You know what? To be honest, I think I'm going to go for the tyre wear upgrade. The one that we had fail on the car an episode or two ago. I think we might go for that rear downforce upgrade as well. Just shore up the car a little bit, make it a little bit more stable. And as well as that, I think I'm going to go for a fuel efficiency upgrade. So 2 upgrades that, you know, I wouldn't traditionally go for, but I feel like we probably need some of these upgrades that'll help us longevity-wise in these races. I feel like tyre wear could be a little bit better, and that would help us attack more in these races. And if we make the car a little bit more fuel efficient, we can run with less fuel, we can be faster at the start of Grand Prix, and, you know, not have to worry so much. There have been a couple of occasions so far this season where we just haven't been running enough fuel, and we've had to save a little bit too much, and it's really hurt our pace. So if we can worry less about that going forward, then that's definitely going to help us. But guys, that's been this episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2018 content. If you're watching this, I am now in the UK. And I think I can say now, hopefully, I'm doing a Forza Horizon 4 event. I'll be back on Saturday. So this will be the last career mode video until then. As soon as I get back home, I'm going to be going ham with the career mode now. Hopefully uploading as much as I can. Trying to bosh out the rest of Season 2. And then after that, who knows? Depends on how this season goes. I might rest this series for a while. We'll have to wait and see. Or maybe I might just finish off F1 Championship Edition and then go back to this. I don't know. It's all up in the air. We'll have to wait and see how it all goes. But it's looking good at the moment. The next race is Monaco. And as always, I am looking to go for that race victory. Hopefully, the car is fast enough. I know I'll certainly be up to the task, but will the car be able to do that as well? But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, the Monaco Grand Prix. I'll see you next time.